So I'm making this video because I want to talk about the state of the world. I want to address I want to address where we're at right now these days, right? So first things first, I'm just making sure that I'm breathing because when I'm in the present moment, I tend to say the right things, I tend to make the right decisions, and I prefer who I am when I am in the present moment. So through breathing and through feeling the sensations in my cuerpo, in my body, I'll be able to stay present while I get this message across. So, yeah, I took like couple notes, just a couple bullet points, to keep my thoughts focused. But first, I want to talk about the Kendrick beef. So, yeah, so I'm from Carson, California, right? Same city as Absol, right? TDE Studio is there, and that's where I mainly grew up. I also grew up in like the Downey, Bellflower, Norwalk area as well in Southern California. So I'm a SoCal girl. I'm not from necessarily I didn't grow up and go into Nickerson Gardens, for example. If you know, you know. So I never had a reason to go there. I probably driven past there like a handful of times when my parents, my people were younger and when people actually lived in LA or whatever. But okay, so let me stay focused. That's just a little backstory, right? So I just feel like all this kind of affects me a bit different, and I see it a bit differently, right? Because I've been listening to Kendrick since a long time. So it's not like this is just oh, he from where I'm from, so I'm obviously on his team. But at the same time, it is that like everything. It's like so as above, so below. Like he's from where I'm from. Like literally, like we are really cut from the same cloth. Like I was talking to my friend who this is her beautiful home. I was talking with her and she was telling me how you can connect with artists. She connected with Celia Cruz, like when she passed away, she felt something profound in her. Like she'd really lost a sister and she just like felt her death. And so I felt Mac Miller's death, and I just feel like in general, like we can connect to the energy of certain artists. Like if you like really vibe with a certain artist, y'all would probably vibe in person. Like if you're, I don't know for everybody, because some people are like get very like what is it called, like starstruck, I guess. But if you see these people as human to human and you just feel like you genuinely have a connection with this human as a human, and of course as an artist, I'm not able to separate the experience of living life not as an artist because I am an artist and because I've always identified as one. So yeah, but anyway, side note, I'm not just saying I'm on Kendrick's side because I'm from where he's from, basically. Is what I'm saying. I genuinely feel like, wow, like this whole beef represents such the massive shift that's going on right now amongst the youth in at least the cities of the United States. I can't really speak for everywhere in the world. Like I haven't traveled everywhere in the world in the United States to be knowing really what's going on in all the streets and stuff. So honestly, I really can only talk about um honestly, I feel like I could talk about the kids because everyone's all connected through TikTok and through the internet, really. And it's kind of just a sensation and a feeling. But I just feel like overall, and I've seen the feedback of what people are saying about, like, for example, Doechii. Doechii had people creating, like, Doechii had people skating in the streets, listening to her music and doing pottery to her music and hula hooping to her music and doing all these cool things and getting active, getting moving, feeling inspired. Like her music was the catalyst, was creating that spark in people and was getting them to move. So it was like a chain reaction, and it's so beautiful because you see the same thing happening right now with Kendrick Lamar's like album. Like you see, he's talking about I deserve it all. Like what? Are you kidding me? Like. And then reincarnated, the last verse of that, like you gotta really listen to this. Like this man is talking about like, yo, the music industry is done. Like he's embodying Lucifer and literally being like, you know what? I'm deciding to change. Like what? Like that's some destiny snatcher right there. Like, are you kidding me? And it's already done, so like it's already been put and etched in stone, which is so beautiful. And so I'm just learning so much out here. But anyway, that's I'm in this a whole nother country, and Kendrick dropped while I was out here in Costa Rica. So it's like I'm just feeling the energy, and the energy is so felt. Like if you are real, then you feel it too, and if you're not, then that's cool. Like it's okay to dance to headlines. That's a good song. You feel me? It's a good song. But it's just a different world, and I feel like these vibrations and these energies are exponentially growing on each side, and it's just kind of like an expansion. It's an expansion. Okay, let me focus because I don't want to get too, you know what I mean. And so basically, I want to transition this talking about because I'm addressing the state of the world right now, right? So that's kind of how I feel. Long story short, I feel proud of the kids. I feel happy and honored, honestly, to be a part of this musical hip hop renaissance that's happening. This reawakening, this mass awakening through the music. This is what hip hop is for. This is why the whole this is music. This is song. This is storytelling. This is evoking emotion. This is and this is speaking into the people. That's what this is about. And this is getting, having the groove and moving and dancing and being communal. That's what this is all about. So I just feel happy about that. And I feel proud to be on the winning team. That's all I'm gonna say. And so the presidential beef is what I wanted to talk about next because I feel like that's a huge thing that's happening in the United States right now. And while we are gearing into Christmas and Thanksgiving was yesterday, I still feel like it's on people's hearts. I feel like people probably feel a little relieved that all of the anticipation and the buildup has finally been over, even if it was a disappointing result. I feel like people are still able to breathe. Hopefully, I pray. Honestly, I pray. Like it breaks my heart to know how much this stuff be affecting people. How much people let this stuff affect them, rather, because really, you do have the decision. Like, I mean, hey, everybody got to do the work. Everybody got to start from somewhere. I choose peace. I choose to be happy. I choose love in the way that I know it, in the way that's comfortable for me, in the way that works for me. For right now, at least, I'm protecting myself. And yeah, so we're gonna stay focused. So the presidential beef, like, I just feel like, some people are just so invested in it. And I just don't feel like I personally want to be invested in it, period. So I understand that there's two sides, da, 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 da. Honestly, selfishly, I'm concerned about how it's affecting my coin because I choose to invest in the stock market. So I'm curious there. I have stake in the fight, I guess, because of how each president affects policy and business in the states. But at the same time, I know that I'm gonna be profitable no matter what the situation is. Like that's the whole thing about it. Like I just feel like my destiny is within me. Like my destiny is not like anything that's happening externally is just so that I can learn more so that I can get to my destiny ultimately, like so that I can just continue on the path of being everything. You know what I mean? Like it like literally it is what it is, what's happening on the outside. And it's so much I'm just learning so much. Like it's teaching us so much, the duality and everything, right? But ultimately we focus on our hearts. We focus on love. We focus on our minds and wisdom and intelligence and peace, ultimately. Peace, right? Peace. But we are thinkers. We are able to think. We exercise our will. We exercise our imagination. If you know, you know. So there's some people that don't think like that. Everything I just said, there's some people that would be like, what the are you talking about? Like, and unfortunately it's a lot of the people who I don't know. I'm gonna just put a period right there. But yeah, so I'm transitioning into so what do I think about the state of the world when it comes to the presidential beef? I think people need to relax a little bit. I don't want to sound condescending when I say that, but I really do think that we all need to take a deep breath and realize that everything's going to be okay. Like, don't y'all believe in God? Don't y'all believe in God? Like, don't y'all know that we win at the end of the day? Like, we have, like, you got to have faith. Like, you got to have some type of faith in your God because we're going to be okay. Why wouldn't we be okay? And if you feel like you're not going to be okay, like, that means you don't have faith in God. Like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make sense. So I just think everybody needs to relax, take a deep breath, and remember who their God is, right? Remember, like, whose team or whose side are you on? Like, anyway, only that's the whole thing about it. Like, you only need to be worried if you know you need to be worried. Okay, so that has me feeling like that. Yeah. So people, that's what I think. I'm curious. Like, are people aware of that they're choosing their reality, that they're choosing their future with every moment? Okay. So I have on here next, focus on self and saving self. So that makes sense because when you think of the presidents, you think of like, oh, save me. Like, I want my government to be able to help me out. Like, government, like, I need you. Like, you are in charge of this, this, and this. Like, and that has, that rules over my life. Like, I need y'all to help me figure this stuff out. I need this stuff. I need this stuff. And y'all control so much in my life. So, like, you're kind of looking at them like a god almost. And I just feel like sometimes you can't put that power outside of yourself. Like, you can't look at external things so much like a god. You have to kind of understand that a lot of that energy is sourced from within and reflected out, but ultimately it starts from within. That's the whole thing about it. Like, that's why, like, with this whole presidential thing, instead of being mad at the presidential thing, I'm looking within and being like, wow, what inside of me is creating this type of duality? Like, why is this energy that we're all experiencing on like a consciousness type of level, on an energetic level, as humans, we're all having this collective kind of experience, and we are all, our collective energy is projecting Donald Trump and Kamala. So what does that say there? But I think ultimately looking within is, and just focusing on ourselves, right? And that's why it's coming back to Kendrick's album. I really love that Kendrick has been putting so much into so much of those type of lyrics, right? Like, what do you say? Uh-uh. Jump from the land. Don't say you hate LA if you don't travel past the 10. What do you say? Get my peace from within. Oh, something. Get my peace. Oh, big face Buddha. Get my peace from within. Hey, yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, I like that album. So yeah, there's a lot of focusing on self that's happening because we gotta close our eyes. We gotta close our eyes. We can't just always look outside of ourselves and be so hyper focused on the exterior, because then we're out of balance, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. But if we are only without, then we're forgetting about the within, and we can't, like, the within is closer to God than the out. Especially if you're not spending time in nature. Like, sure, if you're surrounded by nature and living extremely naturally, consuming extremely natural food, then your physical will be able to experience on a heightened level this divine energy. But if you're not living like that, your best bet is when you close your eyes, is when you is when you are sleeping. Yo. Anyway, let's close off this video, okay? All right. So, long story short, that's kind of, I'm happy. I'm looking at the state of the world and I'm realizing that more and more of us are feeling like this. So, there's a consciousness growth, right? There's a consciousness shift. There's a heightening in awareness on a lot of levels. Like, we're becoming aware, like, not even on some like extremely spiritual shit. Like, yes, but at the same time, we're just aware of more things. Like, okay, we like on the physical level, we're aware of how jails work, right? We're aware of how policies work, or how drugs got here, how guns got here. Like, a lot of these things that were spirit conspiracies, right? We're aware about extraterrestrials now. Extraterrestrials, we're aware that there's creatures in the ocean. Like, we're aware of a lot of things now on a collective level. It's just period. And so it's just about integrating this information. And I think our artists are doing a great job at showing us how to do that. Like, Kendrick is talking about writing stuff down, like being in love with his pen. What do I have in front of me right now? A journal. Like, more people are going to start this. Having a journal is so clutch. Last thing I'll say before I let y'all go is that I'm doing something called the morning pages. I'll talk more about it in another video, but I write 3 pages every morning and consistently, and sometimes I write more in the evening or just throughout the day, but 3 pages no matter what, period. I think about each day, and I've been really enjoying it and loving it. And I recommend y'all do it too. But yeah, I'm signing out. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, bye.